Sellers make mistakes all the time that can cost you thousands of dollars. So here are the most common seller myths right here in Portland, Oregon. I'm Cullen. I'm a local real estate agent right here in Portland, Oregon. There's the sign. If you guys are looking to sell, go ahead and reach out. My information's right down there in the description area. Go ahead and reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text. I'd love to talk to you. So in this video, I really wanted to get into the seller myths. The first one is staging. Is it necessary? Now, as a real estate agent, I see thousands of homes every year, and I gotta tell you, staging. Do you believe in it? Do you not believe in it? Well, I definitely believe in staging. I stage every one of my listings 100%. Now, if the seller really doesn't want it staged, then obviously they don't have to have it staged. But I'm gonna push for staging in every home listing that I ever do, whether it's a $300,000 condo or whether it's a $3 million home in Lake Oswego or the Southwest Hills of Portland. It really makes a big difference. Now, let's dive into that and why I think that is. So staging really enhances the curb appeal of your photos. And that's the first thing that the home buyer is gonna see. They're gonna be looking on the internet and they're gonna pull up your home and they're gonna be wowed by the photos and just how clean it looks. And when I do my listings, I have a professional stager. I have them come in to the house, check out the space. They're gonna look at it, get a real feel for it. Or if you have your own furniture, they're gonna go in there and you're still living in your home. Not everybody can move out and have an empty house. That's the preferred way to go. So if you plan on living in the home, what I'll do is have a consultation with the stager, have them come in and they can give advice and kind of do an augmentation. And that's what I really like to do, and then have them do a recommendation on what pieces they could add to your current home decor. They're gonna be able to really give you just some great advice on how to keep countertops clear, clean. You don't want anything on any of the countertops, the bathrooms, the kitchen. Maybe you keep a coffee maker, some things like that. But they're gonna really be able to enhance and give you advice on what pieces to pull out. You might have been through someone's house and the garage is all full of all this furniture. Well, that's probably because they had a stager come in and augment and tell them, hey, let's pull out all these pieces. And they can provide the actual labor to do all that stuff. Now, why do I like to stage homes? Well, because it sells homes faster. Now, here's the stats. This isn't me just making this up. This is right from Realtor.com. And all their data says that homes sell 88% faster, 88% faster than homes that are not staged. Now, I don't know about you, but that is a heck of a lot faster. 88% of the time, it's almost 90% of the time, your home will sell faster if it's staged. And not only that, but let's talk about financial. What does it cost to stage a home? Well, staging a home will cost you in the Portland, Oregon area anywhere from about $1,200 to $1,500, for like a small 1 or 2 bedroom, say condo or house on up from there. The average is probably, if you're looking at like a 2,000 square foot home, you're probably looking at around $2,200, maybe $2,500, somewhere in that range. If it's smaller, then you're looking in that like $1,500 to $2,000 price range. And I have some great relationships with stagers, so they give me a great deal. And I know most stagers are actually a lot more expensive than that. A lot of them kind of start out about $3,600 for say a roughly 2,000 square foot home, and kind of go up from there. And then that's gonna be your initial month, plus then every month is gonna be a fee. And usually it's about 50% of the initial. So the initial setup. One of the stagers that I love to work with, she's got probably, I've worked the best price, I think, in the city. So what I like to do is that I've worked out with her is, say for your average 2,000 square foot home, you're gonna stage the living room, the kitchen, the primary bedroom, and the bathrooms. Now the other bedrooms aren't necessary to stage, but you want to stage those main areas and the dining room as well. basically the whole downstairs. And if the bedrooms are separate, you want to do the primary and the bathrooms. You want to get everything from the hand towels to the little soap containers, pictures. You want it to seem like professionally staged, lived in. Now, doing all that, you're looking at usually say around $2,500, for say 2,000 to 2,400 square foot home. And that's going to be your first month, and your second month is going to be that $2,500. I usually have it worked out to where the second month is included. Most cases I have different packages, but in most cases the seller is going to pay for that, and then I will pay for the third month. And that's just how I work it. So my clients know that they're just going to get that bill for that initial, say in this case, it's $2,500 to do their staging. Now that might sound like a lot of money, and you know what? It is, $2,500 is $2,500. Here's the stats from Realtor.com that your home will get 20% more on average, it's a national average, than a home that is not staged. 20% more. Now that doesn't mean that you're gonna, say you have a list price at $700,000, you're gonna get 20% more than a listing that is not staged at all. So it's gonna sell faster, it's gonna sell for more. I mean, it's definitely worth the money. Plus you're gonna get more traffic to your open houses, to your home that are gonna wanna do showings, because those pictures, and I like to do videos as well. I mean, all that they're gonna see is gonna look amazing because it's staged, and they can visualize themselves living in that home. What happens is when buyers get there, they need to be able to visualize themselves living there. If it looks amazing with this incredible furniture and amazing paintings and artwork, they can visualize themselves living there. But if it's completely empty, most people can't visualize their furniture. Where do things go? Especially if there's some awkward spaces, if the walls aren't perfect, maybe if you took off artwork and there's holes in the walls, and sometimes the baseboards get a little beat up and dirty. Well, staging furniture hides all of that stuff and pulls the eyes away from looking at the details of the walls and the ceilings and the baseboards, and it draws them to the furniture, to the spaces, and they can visualize themselves living in there. And that's why homes that are staged get more money and sell a lot faster. Next, let's talk about pricing your home. Whether it's in a hot market or in a slower market or a more even market, like when I'm recording this video right now, it's a lot more of an even market of a buyer and seller's market. Now, one of the myths out there that some people have is, hey, I'm gonna price my home above market value. I'm gonna try to get the most I can get. And hey, I don't blame you. It sounds good in theory, right? I mean, who doesn't want to get the most for their home to, put in their pocket to be able to use for whatever the next home? But let me tell you that that is a mistake, and the stats speak for themselves. Most homes that are overpriced are going to sit longer and then have bigger price decreases than homes that are priced appropriately. What do I mean appropriately? I mean, if you reach out to an agent like myself, I'm gonna go and look at all the comparable, all the home sales in the last 6 months, and I'm really gonna target it down even to the last 3 months. And I'm gonna look at homes that are similar layout, similar bedroom count and bathroom count, and with as small a tight area as possible. And every part of Portland is a little different, right? Especially the neighborhoods. So I'm gonna look and see, hey, what's sold in the last 3 to 6 months, and then come up with your price for your house. And it's usually a range. It's not like an exact dollar amount. It's not like, oh, this house is worth $700,000. It's usually, plus or minus, like say $30,000. And then that's where we can have a conversation and you can kind of come up with, hey, I want to price it maybe a little bit more competitively, a little under market. Maybe you want to go a little bit over market. There's a little wiggle room right there for sure. But what you don't want to do is way overprice your home by like, $50,000, especially if there's other homes in your neighborhood, in your area that are on the market for a lower amount. And again, that's where it connects to staging, great photos, to great video. All those things help. You want to get the highest dollar for your house, and you want to, price it a little bit over market, and you do no staging and you don't have great photos and a great agent to market it, well, you're really not doing yourself good service. When you overprice a home and you don't get a lot of traffic and you're not getting obviously that higher dollar that you want for it because, hey, you're not in a hot seller's market, and you might be able to get away with that, in a super hot market where there's multiple offers, but I don't even recommend it even in that market on overpricing. Let the market dictate. If you're gonna get multiple offers, let them push it up. But you want the most eyes on your property. You want the most people coming through your property. And if you price it appropriately and people think that's a fair market price, then they're gonna come out. And if you make it as appealing as possible, that's how you can get multiple offers, especially coming out of the gate that first weekend. Now what's gonna happen when you overprice that home is it's gonna sit on the market and you're gonna need a price reduction. So, my recommendation is if you do price high, realize that really quickly by the amount of traffic. And within the first 2 weeks, if you have maybe you got some people looking at it the first weekend and then nothing for 2 weeks, well, you definitely need to lower the price, talk to your agent, hey, and look at the comps there. See, hey, why is this house sitting with nobody coming in there? Do a price reduction quickly, because the longer it sits there and the more price reductions you have to do, people start to think, hey, something's wrong with this house. Now, it will eventually sell once you hit that right price where the market says, hey, your home is worth this price. But the longer it sits there, the more kind of stigma it gets, and people think, hey, something's wrong with this house, and it gets harder to get people in to view the home. Next, let's talk about selling with or without the help of a real estate agent. Now, about 5% of the homes nationwide for sale by owner. The owner decides to sell it themselves. Now, stats are that nationwide, people that use real estate agents sell their home faster and for quite a bit more money than if they did sell by themselves. Now, besides wanting to sell your house for more money, why else would you use a real estate agent? Well, let me give you my opinion on why it's a good idea. Number one is going to be just handling the contracts. There's a lot of stuff that really goes into selling a home that kind of happens, behind the scenes that you might not really be aware of. So a skilled real estate agent like myself brings a lot of market knowledge. So that comes with pricing your house right, dealing with all the legal contracts, knowing the do's and the don'ts to keep yourself out of legal hot water so you don't get sued. And I also bring a lot of negotiation skills. So a good real estate agent is really going to be able to help you when it comes time to negotiating repairs. Now, if you sell it by yourself, you're still going to be negotiating with an agent on the other side that, hey, they do this for a living. They know the contracts in and out that you're going to have to be using, the state contracts. They know these things all day long. So I think that's really, one of the major things of selling, by yourself is that you're still dealing with an agent. You're dealing with an expert. So they're going to have a big upper hand in negotiating repairs with you. Now, as a seller, if you use an agent like myself, I'm going to be able to help you navigate those repairs and make sure those are minimized as much as possible, and know when to really be able to give pushback and be able to read the situation to make sure that you have as strong as upper hand as possible. And then let's talk about marketing. When it comes to the photos, to the videos, to social, to mailers, to making phone calls, to even scheduling and approving all the people and the calls that's going to come in about your property. A good real estate agent, like myself, has all of that buttoned up, knows all the vendors to be able to get it right the first time. I know in this busy world, you probably have a ton of other appointments and things, and you're pulled in all these other directions from work to possibly kids. There's a lot going on in our lives. So I think having a real estate agent represent you, the seller, is really invaluable. Next, let's talk about renovating your house. Now, some people say, oh, I gotta renovate everything, to get the top dollar. Well, that's not true. Now, this is obviously gonna be a case by case. Every house is gonna be a little bit different, what kind of updates they need or should have to sell your home, and what price point it is. So again, that's where someone like myself, with my experience, I can come in there, check it out, and then have my trusted vendors come check it out as well. I have a contractor that I like to get in there, and he can give a quote on everything from painting to, say, there's fixing doors, making sure all those little things that are kind of more like, handyman type stuff. Like, those are all like the easy things to have done. Make sure your home is in like good working order. Now, when it comes to bigger things, say like, redoing a kitchen or redoing a bathroom, now I usually won't recommend, doing those types of things unless that's something that you're okay with kind of disturbing your life to, do some major renovations. I would consider major renovations to be like redoing bathrooms, redoing the kitchen, and smaller things that can be a less hassle is, say, you had old carpet, or maybe your flooring needs updated, or painting the walls. Those are kind of easy things that we can tackle and that can really help the curb appeal of your home. And then when you talk about the exterior, it could be, even just doing some simple pruning and having my landscaper come out there. Maybe you need to add some bushes, add some bark chips around the perimeter of the house. Really just spruces it up and makes those pictures look just amazing, right? Like a new build home, right? When you just have that front of the house landscaped and just looking really good. So I don't recommend doing just everything on your wish list that maybe never got to on your house as far as maintenance and updates. So that's where I would talk to someone like myself and hit the main things, which is, do you need some painting? How does the flooring look? How does the lighting look? Maybe you could switch out some light fixtures if, maybe they're old or one's broken, or, things like that. Those are real easy fixes that I can have my vendors take care of. I hope those things help. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and reach out. My name is Aaron Cullen. I'm a local real estate agent right here in Portland, Oregon. And I get calls all the time from people moving all the way from Southeast Portland to Lake Oswego. So reach out if you're looking to sell or buy in the Southeast Portland all the way over to Lake Oswego. If you'd like to know more, my information's right down there in the description area. And here, let me throw up the number. Go ahead and give me a call. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, stay tuned because the next one is coming up right now.